Okay.
And we live. Hey. Welcome to another episode of Easy Sports. And today I've got a full house. I've got tools. I've got Sihle and we've got a brand new newcomer. What's up, odds?
Awesome. I just want people to see my badge there quickly.
Oh
So
yeah.
they know.
yeah,
Coming
They
in hard,
they
man.
they coming out of the woodwork, eh? They
Yeah,
bit by
yeah.
bit they coming out of the woodwork.
yeah.
Look, I mean,
Ish.
I can show you. This is the Mike Ashley era. So you
yeah.
can chip all you want,
Yeah, you
bruh.
can see it's got some high mileage on it. Yeah.
Yeah, these shirts don't have they don't come cheap, bruh. They're not retro shirts, dog. They're the ones you
Yeah.
bought way back when.
No,
That's
but I
true.
think being a Newcastle fan right now, it's probably you guys are jizzing all over yourself. It's the
Yeah.
best time to be a Newcastle fan.
Mm.
Look, I mean, like we'll probably get more and more into it, but I think it's the best time. But like Cisse and you and Tools, you guys know I've said to you guys, I don't want Champions League. I'd rather finish fifth at the moment. I think yes, you can be
Huh?
surprised, but I think like let's just start off small. Let's just build.
Yeah.
But where we end, we end. Where the cards may fall, well, may they let the cards lie where they may fall. But at the end of the day, I think third, fourth is might be a little bit too much for us going into next season because I think there'll be a little bit too much pressure on Eddie Howe. But yeah, it's good. It's not bad at all, man. Like unbeaten in London, the only team not beaten in London, 5 in a row.
Hey.
When so yeah, man, we're smiling, dog. We're smiling.
No. I know. We hear you loud and clear, man. So it's good to have a new face on the channel. This is
Thank you,
two
thank you,
second
thank you.
time. I mean, yeah, man. Hopefully we can continue shooting and having you more on the
I'm
channel.
if we win, I can shoot. If we
Yeah.
lose,
Listen,
At least you're
listen to
saying
these
it, man.
Barbie supporters.
Nah,
Listen to these
come
Barbie
on.
plastic supporters. If we win,
If you win, you here.
We were here last week. I was here last week. I was here when we lost 7. No, it is what it is, dog.
look, I listen every week, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough to hear you guys support your teams like that, but it's good. It means that there's proper support, and you guys are really behind the teams, regardless of
yeah.
the results. But there,
wow.
there is some silence in the
I'm, I'm,
rooms.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that the name Mike Ashley still haunts you at night and gives you nightmares and crap.
No, we still have people still post them on all the socials. Like, guys, this was
Yeah.
us last year. So yeah, we still have nightmares about Mike Ashley. Trust.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
but Newcastle's doing incredibly well, man. It has to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
said. Yeah? It
Nah,
has to
I
be
watched
said.
them. I watched them this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. I'd given Mike Ashley 18 months on the job
Yeah.
because I felt the club will
Not Mike
outgrow him
Ashley, bro.
quickly.
Eddie
Oh,
Howe.
sorry,
Eddie
not
Howe.
Eddie Howe. Yeah, I'd given him
yeah.
18 months because I thought the job will outgrow him quickly because the club will want to grow.
Cheap
But right
ass.
now, he's keeping up with the expectation that comes with being the richest club in the world.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
But I
don't
think
think
he's
anyone.
yeah. Continue.
Uh, I think the one thing that he's doing is he's got the backings of the Magpies where it's you guys are taking it. You're not getting too excited. You're not like Man United. Man United win a
How?
game and they think no. Hold on, Man United
How?
fans, they win one game or they win two games and they are champions by default just because they're on a 2 game winning streak. But I think
That is
no,
true. That is true. I think
I'm
for me, the
We've
most
been on the pod for the longest time, bro. We've been saying what our expectations were going into this season.
But
but
you
I think
are
Mm,
out of all the fans, how
yeah.
many are like you guys?
You mean
No.
assholes?
unlike
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, dog.
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that's surprising me is the two Newcastle fans that I know of. Their feet are firmly on the ground.
Mhm.
They're not getting
a
caught up
few
in the
Newcastle
hype.
fans that we all know. Let's
No,
put it that
Two.
way.
I said
no,
two.
but Newcastle has a huge fan base, as
Mm.
They
compared
do.
when you compare it with City, you guys are far ahead of City. So
Mm.
for me, I've always seen your club as a big club. Look at your stadium, for instance.
Mm, mm.
Before Abu Etihad, extended before City fixed their stadium. I think you guys were the second largest club stadium in the
Yes,
UK
yes, yes.
after Man United. So
Mhm.
it just shows you that you guys have a huge following. I mean, you're
Yeah, I
not
think
the
it was
first.
when the
Yeah.
Emirates was built, we became the third biggest stadium when the
Oh,
Emirates was
third.
built.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right, all
but
right, all right.
for the
But
longest
you're
time
up
we
there.
were second. Yeah,
You're
and
not like
then Tottenham.
Anfield, man.
No, 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 not
Anfield,
we're not
it's
30 something
oh,
thousand. We're
yeah,
20
it's a
something thousand.
Anfield. Oh, Stanford Bridge, these tiny ass stadiums,
We
man.
we've got a project where we're growing.
Tiny ass stadiums, as big as Dobsonville Stadium here locally.
Okay,
Oran Stadium. I remember
The
Oran
Rand
okay,
Stadium.
okay,
Stadium,
okay.
yes.
It's university.
Hold on. Hex
Yeah.
and tools. You guys don't even
Yeah.
have big screens, so whenever there's a
Wow.
VAR decision, you guys don't know what
We're
happens.
talking,
So
we'll
I
be
What's
don't
talking
going
know
You
what
on?
guys
you're
about the
watch
talking
the
size.
VAR
about.
decisions
We'll
on
talk
your
about
phone.
the yeah. We
What's
talk about the
going
size
on?
of the stadium, Karen. Like I don't
And I'm talking
know.
about the facilities in your
Ah,
bigger stadium. You don't even
yeah.
have a big screen. You don't
We
have a
never
big
spoke
screen
about
TV to show
facilities,
highlights.
dog.
So we
We're talking
can't.
about
So
size. No, we're talking
yeah,
about
when if you
size.
want to talk about facilities, I'll go call up
Yeah,
Cristiano, and Cristiano will tell
yeah,
you
of
about
course.
Man United facilities.
We were talking about the size of the stadium.
Yeah, but our
Yeah, yeah, you can
our
go too.
Muslim daddy's coming, man.
Yeah,
He's gonna
Are you
sort us out.
excited?
Our
Are
Arab
you
daddy.
excited?
You know,
I'll be playing
we're gonna be
Buster
flying.
Rhymes all day, bruh. One thing will happen. I'm telling you, bruh.
I, do- I, do- I, I do want to say this though, right? Just so
Mhm.
you guys can, till the next time I come, I want you guys to think about this. You
Yeah,
know, people say we were sports washing for the longest time, and Sky Sports is very biased about like, oh, the Saudis and the sports washing and the human rights. So
yeah.
when you guys get your Qatari or whoever owners come and buy you
There's
guys,
always gonna be, yeah.
can we not have that conversation about oh no, we are not the Saudis or whatever. You guys will be doing the exact same thing, sports washing and whatnot. So let's just, because we had Roman who his skeletons came out later on in his
Yeah.
ownership. So also when you guys, if you get bought by the Qataris, please don't think it's a different thing to us. You must just
It's
say
the
you
same
have
thing.
area blood
They just
money. Just own up
they
and
just want a
admit it.
sugar daddy. They just want a sugar daddy, and they're
Nah.
sorted.
Now we
Yes,
just
he's
want
gonna throw money at
structure.
this situation.
No, we want structure. Look at how your team is moving, for instance,
Mm,
Newcastle. You guys are not out here splurging your cash. You're very
mm.
careful and you're meticulous in how you make your selection. And I think even your scouting network, I mean, Sven
Oof.
Botman came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Oh, Bruno.
Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno. Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes. Okay, last season he was there, but I've always rated him from his Lyon
Mm,
days.
mm.
But you see,
Isaac
Isak,
is
look,
there was a
Isak's caught the
question mark.
yeah,
Now there was a question mark around him that is he going
yeah.
to survive in the EPL? And right now he's looking hella fine.
Mm.
Yo,
I
And
think
they
eyes
landed
I think
performing.
Trippier as well, which is a good deal.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think what we've built, we've because I mean, if you look at Newcastle's average, like starting 11, and people say we have the money, we have about 4 or 5 players out of the 11. Let's say
Mm.
4 players out of the 11 that pre-takeover or and I mean, we're post takeover and very like understated. Dan Burn, is not
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm, mm.
wow,
It's
kind of
not.
signing. Kieran Trippier, I do think Kieran Trippier was a very good signing, but at the end of the day,
No,
he was 12 30.
that's your signature
Like a
signing.
marquee.
But
Yeah,
but he
that's
was
the
12
marquee
million and
signing right there.
he was 30 years old when he came to the club. Isak, yes, I believe we can build a future around him. Botman, I think,
Yeah.
is great part of the spine. Nick Pope was always England's number 3. He was at getting relegated with Burnley. I think he was
Yeah.
just, we needed something. But Bruno G, I'm not gonna lie to you, like whatever you want to say, I think
Stop.
he is the business. I
Yeah,
do.
he is. No, he is.
Me and
Stop.
Tools have argued often who's the best Bruno in the league.
No,
And
no.
Uh,
We spoke about this last week. Tools.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Wait. Tools.
that's soccer.
Who's
Yeah.
a better Bruno?
I said it's not
Who's
the
the
same position, so I wouldn't be happy to
That's
have
also
the
true.
debate.
They'll concede with Tools like
Um,
he's not.
Mm.
They're different. They're different positions. But
yeah.
one thing I would like to raise, and I mean like
Yeah.
the league is delicately poised, and I think all 3 clubs that we all support can kind of pick up scraps from the guys that go down. you know,
Yeah.
who do you guys think
Yeah,
that
don't
you would
involve me.
pick?
Don't involve me in that
I was
conversation.
about to ask.
It's like,
Are you just
Oh
gonna
no,
keep
because you guys
quiet?
are
This
close to going down. Yes,
nah,
you
just
guys
like
are closer to
don't.
going down.
I'm just a
Yeah.
So I mean,
spectator at 13th right now.
yeah, amongst us. But anyways, you can even look. I mean, I saw a crazy stat between Frank Lampard being sacked and Frank Lampard being rehired. Chelsea has spent 700 million pounds and bought 24 players. So I don't think Frank has can buy players. I think he needs to
Yeah,
sell 15
yeah,
of those players and then maybe like see what he's got left.
but
But I mean,
okay.
who do you
Let's
guys
be
buy
fair.
from the scraps that go down, basically? And I
Yeah.
put scraps in inverted commas.
Okay, so I'm just gonna defend my team right now. Okay, cool. That
Yes,
stat that you've given me,
the only one defending
700.
really.
Yeah. Go for it.
The 700 million that was spent from the time that Frank left and Frank came back, and a huge chunk of that, I'm talking about like fucking 600 million of that is from one window. And in that window, we honestly were buying for the future. But the weird thing is, why are we buying from the why are we buying for the future? Meanwhile, we've let go of two people who I think were integral in us scouting the best talent. One being Czech, the other one being who's that other lady? Is Maria.
Oh yes,
Yeah, it's
Maria.
Maria. Yeah. We let go of those. That was for me, that was stupid. And then we went on a managerial shopping spree, of which was and then we let go of Tuchel. And from what I hear, what happened with Tuchel, it was a 10-minute conversation, and the decision was made that he's gone. And we then get Harry Potter and whatnot. I love what Potter was doing.
Yeah, Sway's at it, bro. You know Sway.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, by
It's
the
fine.
way,
I'll-
tools and odds, yeah.
I
This
can
guy's
He's a
see.
special
Sway.
character. He's a
Sway's
special character.
problematic.
Yeah, he's a special character. I'll ask him. Mendy, when Mendy had his best season, when Mendy, no one knew who Mendy was. Wasn't Czech part of the reason for Mendy to come and join Chelsea? But anyway, he wasn't a scout. And then we get Harry Potter, and Harry is he was, his style of play at Brighton was intriguing in that it was attacking football, and the type of players that Chelsea has are attacking players. So you think it's a match made in heaven. And the unfortunate thing is that this shit does happen where you get where it doesn't happen, where from outside it looks like this should work, but then it just doesn't work. Maybe it's too many players, maybe he lost the dressing room, maybe the players just didn't respect him. And then the one thing that really irks me is that we're in a position right now where we could have gotten probably two of Europe's best available managers in Luis and who's the other guy from the German Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
And we choose not to. We choose to go reverse and go back. And then this is the same Frank that failed at Everton. And Everton has the same problem that we have, where it's like literally throwing money at the problem. They're not recruiting for the club. They're just recruiting who they think is best based on who's available at that moment, which is stupid. And if we honestly going like that, I wouldn't mind being in a relegation scrap. Because right now, if you look at the point difference between the last, no, I wouldn't, because that's going to be it's going to remind the guys up top that, you can't do that in the league. In the league, for you to take one step back has you not even a mid-table team. It has you fighting for relegation.
You guys are closer to the relegation zone than you are to fourth place. So
True.
points
Very
wise.
true.
So,
the only way that we can make Champions League next season is if we're in Champions League right now. And unfortunately, on Wednesday, we've got a date at the Bernabeu. We've got another date. And right now, I look at Chelsea and I'm like, where the goal's going to come from?
But
I look at like this weekend. I don't know if you guys. Sorry to go on this rant. I don't know if you guys watched the Wolves game, the Chelsea Wolves game, where Frank takes off Kai and takes off Felix and leaves Gallagher on the field. What did Gallagher do the whole match? And this is like he started making these substitutions 60 minutes into the game. And out of all the 60 minutes, I do not remember anything that freaking Gallagher did.
Because you guys
And then he
conceded in
keeps
the
him.
50th, man.
What's that?
Conceded in the 50th minute or something like that.
A
Yeah,
world-class goal.
No, there was
Yeah,
it's
that
a
was a
world-class
worldie,
taken
bro.
goal,
Beautiful
but
goal.
Cucurella he was lost. And the back four really, I mean, you can't, Uris James, not that you can't, and he can't attack now because the managers decided I'm gonna play a solid back four. So now you've got Rhys James and you've got Cucurella who can't move. Rhys James didn't, the first half, he didn't even pass the halfway line because of the instruction of playing that back four.
But you know what I like about you mentioned all those guys having, I'll call him Super Frank because I mean that's what he was called in his years. Having Super Frank back, I think allows Mr. Football Manager Todd Bowley to then decide, okay, who he wants in, and then kind of just like Ten Hag say, this is who I'm getting in, and then do a clear out and have that guy come in and look and clear out who he doesn't want, because I think he just went on a random spending spree. But one thing, I spoke to another Chelsea teammate of ours last week, and he says, the thing about what happened at Chelsea was like they lost the spine, and he wasn't even talking about team level. He was talking about, like structure level. You had a owner, you had a CEO. I don't know what Marina was. You had a director of football in Peter Cech. There was a proper like structure that happened, even a proper board. And they made the decisions, and Roman just came on a Saturday and a Sunday to watch the football.
And then he signed he signed the checks whenever they want to play. If he wanted a player that much, he goes right ahead and he has his one or two players that he goes and he buys.
Yes, and then as soon as all of that was done, and as soon as all of those people were then fired, now you're sitting in a situation where everybody's new. I mean, I think the four of us would do a better job at Chelsea because I wouldn't have fired Marina, and I wouldn't have fired Peter Cech, and I would have kept Thomas Tuchel. So I mean, just those three decisions amongst the four of us, we already know that like, well, these are the right decisions.
And to make. You speak on he's going to get a manager to do a clear out. You don't buy players only for like 6 months later want to clear out. The unfortunate thing with players is that if they don't get game time, they depreciate. And guess what? You're in it on like 100 million player, and you haven't given him game time. I'll give you an example. Who's the most expensive player that we've just bought now? What's his name?
Enzo.
Not Enzo. No, not Enzo. Not Enzo. Modric. Yeah. Right now, that boy, he looks out of sort. He doesn't know whether he's coming or whether he's going. He's all over the place. And we spent 60, 80 million for that player. Right now, if another manager comes through and says, yo, I don't want this guy in my team, how much can we recoup on selling him or letting him go? We can't recoup shit. The best thing we'll do is we'll loan him up to Everton.
Yeah. Also, and you say all of these things. All of these things that Chelsea shouldn't have done, especially second Tuchel. I think in the position that they are now, the worst thing you do is to bring back Lampard. I can't see what the logic is in that decision. What's he gonna do? What is he showing that he's gonna change? What is his record showing what's the logic behind bringing Lampard back?
I remember Chelsea did something quite similar to this, where they fired Mourinho just before we won the first before we won Champions League. Who was that other manager that they got? They got Di Matteo as a stable manager and it won Champions League. So I don't know. Maybe they looked at the history books and they say, let's pull this one. We should be good.
But then circumstances were different, bro. You guys had Abramovich. Your structure was solid. I even told you, Sihle, and I've been telling you this. You guys are looking like Man United right now, where there is no structure in how you guys recruit. Like, look at Art. Newcastle, the reason why I think Newcastle structure is so incredible is because we're seeing unknown niggas pull through and just dominate. You see, once that starts happening, like remember with Leicester, guys like Ricardo Pereira, Ndidi at one stage, Madison came out of nowhere, Kante, Mahrez. You see, once your team starts doing that, once your team starts doing that, where you guys are beginning to unravel gems, that's when you know, Uguti, from board level and from recruitment level, there's some form of structure and identity in how your club moves. So yeah, man, you guys are looking like us, man, and I'm enjoying it. Like, continue, long may this continue, man.
Yeah. But you know what?
Fuck you.
I would want to say this, and I think for me, like when you watch what's it Amazon's All or Nothing.
Yeah.
All or Nothing. Yeah, I don't. Jessica was happy. Jessica was happy, by the way, that Tuchel was fired. When you watch All or Nothing, you see like you go into this, like you see the behind the scenes kind of stuff, and I mean, when you look at what happened with the takeover happened in October, September, October, and then we got an Eddie Howe. We gave Steve Bruce his 1,000th game, but it took us up until June to get a director of football. August, the CEO came in. You know, we weren't making big decisions. We kept a lot of the backroom staff. We kept one of Steve Bruce's assistant coach is still there today. You know, so not a lot of changes have happened. And I've said to Sika many times, you know, in our chats that changes will happen once expectations then increase. So we make Champions League now. Eddie Howe will get another season. He'll get a season in the Champions League. But as soon as he gets knocked out fourth from the group, where we lose to Sheriff and we lose to Zenit or whatever it is,
best believe your team will make it out. Watch, bro. English teams genuinely make it out the group stage. Leicester, remember.
I hear that, but it's about the pulling power. So I think the change happened over time, and I think even with like when you look at the Liverpool model, maybe Todd Boehly will maybe let go once he's got his thing settled. But I think he wanted to establish his Todd Boehliness. The Glazers did the same thing. We're the Glazers. That's what we're doing. You know, everyone else, we want nothing to do with the old regime. And I think once maybe you get over the old regime, will things start to settle. I'm not saying Ten Hag is like the savior, but I'm just saying maybe having a guy do that might be the catalyst to change.
Can I address Ray real quick where he says he's got receipts on me being happy? At the time, no. You know what they say with hindsight. It's at the time he had lost. He had lost the dressing room, and it wasn't working out.
But had we seen enough of a capitulation at that time?
That's what I was gonna get at. In that it hadn't been as bad as it was made to be, where literally you go in and it's a 10-minute conversation and you fire the guy. I wasn't happy. It happened. There was nothing I could do about it. It was the guy was fired. Next thing, Harry Potter is coming. Went back. Okay, cool.
He didn't even have a CV. I'm sorry, he didn't have.
He didn't even have a CV.
Didn't have a CV from the jump.
He didn't have a CV.
I feel like for me it was a career suicide, man. Like, you know, Chelsea, especially having to deal with egos, bro. I mean, it's a different ball game between Brighton and Chelsea, dog. Like, Chelsea players have won shit at the highest level, man. And here comes a manager who hasn't, you see. And so just to go back to what Arts was saying about, of course, establishing, like you said, Todd Boehly trying to establish his own way and his and just pretty much clean out the old regime, right? But the thing is with me is that the old regime was working all along. 100%. I mean, Chelsea have 100%. Been sacking coaches rather for the longest time. That's like their model. And still, I mean, not too long ago, they won the big ears, man. You know, so it just shows you, man, for me, at times, if something, maybe like for instance, there's a new owner coming in and the current owner was like leaving the club at a solid state, it's all Gucci to ask Roman or maybe anyone in the board how things are done, because I mean, this guy owned the LA Dodgers, and so I think the way he's buying players, I'm thinking he's using the models that are happening in the US as far as
longer
NBA,
contracts, longer term contracts,
death row contracts, bro,
records.
death row
We haven't
records
seen
contracts,
Death
dog.
row.
Yeah, dog. So for me, man, I'm loving it because I like see Chelsea suffer, but like for me, I'm like, you pretty much copying what United are doing right now. I mean, of course, our shit's gonna change once we get new owners. We're gonna start moving like Newcastle.
What's the latest with that deal? Because I heard that the first round, it went to the second round. In the second round, there were no submissions made.
They're trying to prolong this thing so that they can get someone who can bid billion, rather. Instead of the 6 billion, which sorry.
I'm saying that is it's quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it is. And so for me, man, like the sooner, for me, the moment I see us having new owners, bro, is when I'll start celebrating, is where I'll be even more optimistic, because I still think that our coach was set up to fail and he's just surprising every one of us. Personally, I feel like we had been addressed our main issues as a club as far as on the pitch is concerned. I think our main issue is ball retention. Newcastle exposed that. Liverpool exposed that. When we play against teams that actually come at you and you are meant to like control the ball and release the ball quickly, we tend to struggle with that. We don't have press resistant midfielders. We don't have like a Thiago. Thiago's press resistant, even if it's two guys coming at him. Whereas McTominay, he's going to fumble the bag. Bruno Fernandes, Fred, so for me, until that is addressed, until we start signing players who are competent on the ball, is when I'll be like, okay, now it's showtime. But right now, for me, I have no expectations per se.
On McTominay, I actually watched him this past weekend. I watched the you guys against Everton. I don't feel that. Firstly, first half you should have wrapped that game up.
Big score first half.
You should have wrapped that up. But on McTominay, he's a different player right now. It's weird in that he's fighting for a contract, because I don't know you guys saw that he's threatening to bounce.
Relax, dog.
Okay, lack of a better word. Okay, hold on. Lack of a better word. He issued a statement.
Casemiro, nigga.
Okay, cool. Let me not say threatening, but he's mentioned that he would like to get more game time, because I think it was 26. He's going into his prime right now, and he'd like to get frequent miles on him. And right now, I'm not gonna lie, he's looking a different player. And it's irritating when these players are looking for their contracts, in that they just change to being these other players. Because this is not the McTominay that I was watching a couple of games back.
Before they answer that, I raised this earlier, but we never got into it. So I'm going to read the bottom six, right? The bottom six will go from 14th. West Ham, Bournemouth, Leeds, Everton, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, and Southampton. If McSauce bounces, right? Let's say McSauce goes. You guys clearly don't mind if McSauce goes. Who does he get replaced with? Because at all of these teams, every team has a player that you would want. I don't think I want McTominay. I'm fine with McTominay. I'm happy Southampton goes down, and hopefully James Ward-Prowse is like, listen, I don't see myself getting game time at City, because Calvin Phillips has played 15 minutes at Man City. So I'm hoping for a guy like him, free kick specialist, who will play nicely with Bruno.
Dude.
I think you guys at I know maybe Declan Rice might stay in London. I think.
He's bouncing. I think he's going. I think
Declan Rice is probably his best team, would be going to United. I think Tielemans,
Eish.
best team, maybe going to coming to Newcastle, Madison going to Arsenal. So, like I say, at the bottom there's a whole bunch of players. I don't think I wouldn't take an Everton player like
Pickford
to save my life.
Yeah.
Pickford with these short arms. No, thank
That's T-Rex arms, dog.
Leicester have appointed Dean Smith as the interim manager, by the way.
Yes, Dean Smith has been appointed to steady the ship when they go down. That's the only reason why you bring in Dean Smith. It's the same thing why you would have maybe brought in a Rafa Benitez. Maybe Rafa kind of gives you that we finished 17th, we're still in the Premier League, we can add class and bring in players. Dean Smith.
Do you know, I'm gonna say something sacrilege. Do you know that I wouldn't mind Rafa as an interim manager at Chelsea.
Over Lampard for sure.
Over Frank.
If you consider over Lampard, I think
anyone over Lampard, bro.
Yes, but he's tried that before and it didn't work. The fans didn't want him. He was there.
No, but I'm just saying. That's why I said it's sacrilege for me to even say it. But I'm at that point. It's like anybody but Frank.
Yeah. But on your McTominay thing, you know, I think those 6 clubs that you mentioned are clubs that we are going to be looking to poach players from, you know.
That's what I'm asking. Who do you take from those clubs? Who would you need as Man United that you can pick up just in J, you know? And like I said, I think Declan Rice is one.
Let me give you an easy one there, Tools. Let me give you an easy one. Who's that that Everton Belgium midfielder? That black guy.
Onana. What's the name? Onana.
Onana will be a different player if you were to move to Man United.
100%.
Yeah, but there's Bruno G as well. We can fish from that market as well. You know what I mean?
Bruno.
He still has a long contract. He still has a long contract.
Yeah,
but those are the kinds of players that we should be looking at because we can fish from your pool, even if you don't want to sell. I don't think you can do the same with us. You know.
That's the difference, bro.
That's why we're the mighty United. We really want this guy. In a season or 2, we can go fetch him. You know, or even at the end of this season.
Who's that polygamist on Mzansi Magic? That dude, man. Umsele. Yeah, we that nigga, dog. We that nigga, bro. That's educated.
We can walk into your camp, bro. I know it wouldn't even there. Walk into your camp and just be like,
I respect you. If I see you on Thursday, we can hash this out face to face. Please, I'm being dead serious. Like,
what? So Thursday is after school.
Yeah, Thursdays after school, after the game. Now, boy. But I'll tell you now, I think the Newcastle players that we're building a team around, I'll tell you now, Eddie Howe's already told them, like, I'm building my team around you. I heard a Inter Milan story today, but you know, even then, with what's his name, with say Maximum Vibes FC, as my brother would call him, I don't even think Saint Maximum will go. Like Saint Maximum is like seeing, okay, fine, we're building a stronger bench.
Yeah,
you know, the squad's coming together. Trust me, you know, Longstaff is probably going to be sitting on the bench, but even Joe Willock is sitting there like, I'm 23. If these guys bring in Tielemans and Madison, doesn't matter because I know that Longstaff is bouncing. You know, I know that Joe Linton can play a few positions. So Eddie Howe will have a conversation with the guys that he needs to have to say, guys, I'm building my team around you, and if we get into Europa or Champions League, he's going to need to add that quality. So Bruno G is going nowhere.
Once you go Europe, my guy, I promise you, your bench, you best have, your squad depth must be on point.
And not just only Europe, man. I mean, you guys are trying to be a big team. You should go for all the trophies, like how 100%. We are. It had you, and that's one thing I like about my manager. He's like, these guys need to get used to playing all these fixtures because big clubs play all of them. Man City does that all the time, you know, and that's the reason why I think City are ahead of us mostly is because, man, they bench, bro. I mean, when Bruno,
they got 2 players per position,
exactly, world-class players. And not just.
No, I think the only player, or so 2 players from City that fantasy league people like. It'll be your striker and Kevin. The rest, they're tricky because you never know what you're gonna get.
Exactly. It's very.
You never know if they're gonna play. 100%.
Yeah.
Bruno, Foden, Mahrez, just like I don't know if they're gonna play.
No, Foden was a peak. Foden was like the guy, but like where is he now?
Benched at any time.
Yeah. And you know what's the beauty of it, guys? Of City's situation is that even if they bench Haaland, you saw what they did to Liverpool. They once won the league title. I think was it 2 seasons back when De Bruyne was out a striker for a long period. Even you see. So for me, that's what I want, bro. Like Cancelo comes through out of the blue, starts misbehaving, gets the fuck out of here, and
they playing him. They playing against him. Apparently, there isn't a clause in the contract that he can't play.
I heard that.
He is. He's able to play tomorrow.
Yeah, that's Champions League for you guys. Like in Champions League, you can do that. I remember when Coutinho scored a brace against Barcelona when he was playing.
And he was at Bayern. Yeah.
He was apologizing because he was on loan. He's got the 7th and 8th goal.
Like, guys.
Yeah, he's got the 7th and 8th goal, but he was like, "Hey, had it," because it was obvious tap-in stuff. Like, you know, I'm a Mula Usile. Mula, I remember, I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna pass the ball to this guy." It takes him and forced him to score. I hope he's got the first one.
Imagine when score. Imagine when he went back to Barca, what happened there?
They sold him up to that. They load him out, bro. They're like, get out of here, dog. And it's Mula.
Get out of here, man.
It's Mula, bro. I was like, this guy's doing it on purpose. He keeps speeding Coutinho intentionally. He's like, hey, chief, here you can't miss, bro. It's an easy tap in. And hey, homeboy had to do what he had to do, man, and he kept doing this. So,
but another serious question. So Harry Kane is not going to finish this league with a trophy again. Another season where he's not going to get another trophy.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to go pay the 100 and whatever?
120.
Man.
Daniel Levy needs
He's
to
30.
Tools needs to answer this. Tools.
No, I've asked him this question. He's 30. Let me just give context. The guy is 30. He's a lethal EPL striker. And at 120 million for a 30-year-old. He doesn't get that injured that often, but when he's injured, he's out for a while.
He still gives you 3 seasons.
3 seasons, minimum 25 goals a season
in the league.
When Rooney was at United at 30, let's look at his stats from 30 to when he left United. We can do a comparison. I don't know those stats.
We were in a very terrible position when he was 30.
It's not about that. He still had the support. I think generationally, he still had the support, and he was Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney is.
Well, he was playing under David Moyes.
Yeah.
What are you saying about Moyes?
Adnan Januzaj was a star player. Adnan Januzaj was a star player that season.
Yeah, man.
How's he going to score 50 goals?
Don't remind them. They hate that era of their life.
Hey, man.
Okay, but
back to Kane. Does
he finally move? But I think Kane is still not worth more than 80.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's exactly where I am. That's exactly where I am, even price-wise. I was like, he's an 80 million player because for a 30-year-old Harry Kane, I think you can push 25 goals at least a season in the league, you know, and that's league winning. That's league winning numbers, especially when you have Rashford's putting in 15 goals in the league, you know. But anything more than 80 million, I think that's too risky. I'd much rather go get a younger guy who's going to be more of a long-term investment, you know, and pay that 100 million, 120, 100 million.
Vlahovic, those kind of guys.
I don't want Osimhen, guys. I'm sorry, I don't rate Osimhen.
Okay, so let me tell you how you guys structured. Let me tell you how you structured that deal.
Who said Ivan Toney? Who said Ivan Toney?
I want Tony.
I like
that. I want Tony in his betting ways.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
I don't mind. I don't mind him. It's like just not get caught.
And there's a player, I forgot who was it. Joey Barton, who was also in
Barton was also caught.
Yeah. So and how many games was he suspended for?
For a few, and he only bet like 7 times. Like
how many
200 times, something like that.
Homeboy overdid it, bro. You see, that's the problem with Tony, bro.
So this is how you structure the Harry Kane deal. Okay, I'll give you 2 players that you can let go of to Spurs. Player 1 is Anthony up front. Package him in the deal.
Nah, no.
My man,
Martial.
this is
Martial will be our second choice striker.
This is how you entice Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy is a business person. So this is what you do. You put them in a package deal. Uti McTominay, Uti Martial, overfire in a package, Uti is a guy 80 million, and that's it.
Nah, I've got a better one. We can go McTominay and Heaton. They need a goalkeeper.
They just got they've got a goalkeeper.
Nah, they don't.
Nah, the other
Froster. Froster, come on, guys. Nah. They need a young, fresh keeper. Yeah, it's just the thing is that this guy, you see another problem with us tools is that we give these guys crazy contracts. I think Heaton is like on 160, bruh.
Hey, what is he done?
How many games
and what has he done?
Look,
you see what I'm saying?
Heaton's like 55. Take the hit, bro. Take the hit. You did the bad math. Take the hit. Let him be we've got 5 goalkeepers, and we literally were struggling for a goalkeeper in the Carabao Cup final. So you know what? Just take the hit. Just have him there on the books. Just
package them in a package him in a deal. Martial, Maxos, Utabavaye to Spurs.
I mean, I still want Martial, guys. I'm sorry.
Let's see this. The problem with Man United is that they spent 90 million on it. Yeah, Anthony. There was Kane money. There's a very good chance they won't make Champions League this year, all because they spent so badly. Yeah, I know.
No, I'd like to tackle this one because
I know Umbi very well.
We're sitting fourth.
Heavy Chelsea supporter, by the way.
In the league right now, right? And our games don't look too terrifying that we should be able to make it. On top of that, we're playing in the Europa League on Thursday. If we win that cup, we bang on in the Champions League next season. So right now, Champions League isn't scary. After the Liverpool game, the confidence really dropped, and our foothold on the top 4 has definitely been shaky, and it's definitely not a done deal. Yeah, well, but our foot is in there, you know. I think we have a better chance of being in there than what Newcastle are right now.
Man.
I think we're good. I think we're good. You know.
Look, we don't have a table of the fixtures. But we have been on the same amount of points as Man United for the longest time, and we were never in the title race, and they were. We are.
We were never in the title race. We were never in the title race.
I know, but the point,
I said it in the beginning, and you guys judged me. I said, Man United fans, they go on a 2-game winning streak, and they're taking the champions. They're taking the championship.
I never said
20 goals clear in terms of
you have to run it back,
over Man United.
Yeah,
I've said this to many people. I said this yesterday over this past weekend, and I will reiterate it. I'm probably one of Adam. Adam might see differently. Adam Taylor.
Oh, yeah, Adam Taylor. You also know him. Hey.
Yes. I know. And I'm one of those. I believe I'd rather take 5th. However, sitting in our position right now, if Newcastle end 5th, and I said this today, we will be seen as having a failed season because of the position.
I was going to tell you that. Yep.
So we can't finish 5th because we're sitting so well in 3rd. So unfortunately, we're probably going to we're going to be in the Champions League, and I don't want that. I don't want the pressure of the Champions League, as I've said earlier. But failure right now would be finishing 5th.
It's too late for you guys, unfortunately. As you say, you can't pull out now. Like you guys are, you fucked yourself up. Don't fear winning. Just
take it. Just win. Just take it on the chin and win.
You're ahead of Man United. I think next podcast we'll probably discuss the next coming few games. But right now, you guys are ahead, and it's going to be interesting. I think also Spurs. I don't know if Spurs has taken a liking to what Barcelona were doing and paying the refs. I don't know if you guys watched the Brighton game.
Yeah, no, bro, they were wrong.
That was disgusting. That was disgusting.
That's another point I'd like to raise.
That was disgusting.
I mean, so many teams have lost points to this. Oh, sorry, guys. We made a mistake.
No, don't offer the apology. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because what's the apology gonna do? It's gonna tell the boys, boys, we're unlucky. No, that's 3 points gone. And this is on not one decision. If it was one decision, I'd understand. It was 3 different decisions, actually 5 in total, right? But out of the 5, I actually scrutinized the 3. The handball, that wasn't McAllister. That wasn't a handball. The pin, that was a definite pin. What was the other one? Fuck, I can't remember the other one. But yeah, that was disgusting. I'm not gonna lie.
But it's happened to West Ham against Chelsea. It happened. We had a penalty against Crystal Palace where we should have been either awarded the goal or the penalty. It just and then there was an offside, I think, against Liverpool where we were supposed to be 2-0 up, and then they said it was an offside when it wasn't offside.
There's an offside. Man United versus Man City.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all those decisions. you cannot come 2 days later and say, yeah, guys, that was a mistake. Like,
no, don't offer. Don't offer
God,
the
I'd
thing.
rather wait 10 minutes to get the right decision and say, wait, we're looking. But also, like, just grab the game by the balls and say, guys, wait, we're going to look at this a little bit longer. When people say clear and obvious, I mean, there was no English VAR refs at the World Cup because they've performed so poorly in the Premier League and they're so inconsistent. Because I'll tell you now, this coming weekend.
X keeps on saying it. Like they don't get it.
Just complex, bro. It's just complex technology, man. Like
sometimes they forget to draw the line.
There will be results this coming weekend that were decision. There will be pens that were not given. There will be non-pens that were given this weekend. There will be handballs that were given last weekend that are not going to be given this coming weekend. I can guarantee you it's going to happen because every weekend there's a different inconsistent decision from like the Premier League refs. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I know.
I firmly believe just on the refs, just do what that ref did to Milner this weekend. And then the players come and fucking talk crap.
Yes, and he connected in there.
Yeah, he connected.
Yeah, guys. Let's segue to that as well, because that for me was the big one. As a neutral, I enjoyed that game. I thought that was a phenomenal game. First half, of course, Arsenal were on one, and then
second half, Liverpool came through and did Liverpool things.
Hey, guys, like man, like
I honestly feel Arsenal might have, and I say this with a big M, they might have just spurned their chance of winning the league.
This is the second time I've heard this in the past. I mean, we've been on for 47 minutes. Someone said it earlier. I saw a message on WhatsApp, and someone said that the Arsenal crumble has started. Like, I feel like we have been just like the Leicester crumble. Guys, we were waiting for Leicester to crumble. They played Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City in like 6 weeks, and they only lost one of those games, and we were waiting for them to crumble. So I think even this Arsenal crumble, we're waiting for it to happen, and people are now looking at Newcastle like, oh, they're still going to play Newcastle. And I'm like, whoa. When did the pressure come on us? They're still going to play City. That could end up in a draw. If the City game ends up in a draw, they still got that points gap. People are now banking on Newcastle to go out and beat.
So this is Arsenal.
I think the reason people
go for it, Tones. Go for it.
I think the reason people are thinking Arsenal may have bottled it here is that they're 6 points ahead. City has a game in hand on them, and they still have to play City. So if you look at City's games, you assume they're going to win every game when you're doing your budgets, So if we assume they win their game in hand, and then they face Arsenal and they beat Arsenal, now they're equal for points.
Yeah.
Now they're equal for points. Now we have to look at them as two teams who have maybe 3 or 4.
Do you have it there in front of you, Sitle? So
I do. So I'll read it out to you. It's not a lot of games. It's West Ham, Southampton, City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Forest, and Wolves. So I think where they might just bottle it is right after Southampton. The games against City, Chelsea, and Newcastle. Oh, and Brighton. Remember Brighton City? Also.
Who does City have?
I'll tell you now. Give me a second. I'll tell you. Crap. Sorry. This thing closed off. So City are going to be playing their next games. Okay, forget Champions League. They're going to be playing Leicester. Oh, sorry. Okay, cool. Yeah, Leicester, Sheffield, Brighton. That's been postponed. Arsenal, Fulham, West Ham, Leeds, Everton, Chelsea, Brentford. Fucking hell. City have a good run. Yeah, they've got a good run.
Yeah, but guys, Leeds is not foregone conclusion. I don't think Everton is a foregone.
You watch what Palace did this weekend.
You know, I don't know who I was saying it to. Sometimes you must think about voodoo teams. Arsenal, Liverpool, they're not voodoo teams to each other. I'll tell you now, like when Arsenal come to Man United or they play each other, that for me is a game where form goes out the window. Arsenal and Liverpool have never been like that to each other. When Man United and City play, voodoo teams. When Arsenal and Spurs play, voodoo teams. You know, where you take, for me, you take form out the window.
I think at this stage of the season, bro, pedigree comes through. You know,
I didn't. Sorry, yeah, but go for it, tools. I'll read.
I think City are used to being in such a pressurized situation this late in the league, you know, and if you're going to put them against Arsenal, I think City's going to come through. You know, they've been having 8 games to go and need to win every single game to try and maintain the title or to chase Liverpool, and they've achieved that every single time in the past few seasons. You know, so if City can win their game in hand and beat Arsenal, and both these teams have 4 or 5 games to go or 3 games to go, my money's on City.
Maybe they could see, yeah.
My money is also on City after this weekend, because had Arsenal walked away with 3 points at Anfield, I was like, take it.
Yeah,
I said the same thing. I said if they can win it here,
they bottled it.
But
in the second half,
because it's still Liverpool. It's still a Liverpool that wins.
Did they bottle it?
Yeah.
Did they bottle
Liverpool?
I think they did, man. I honestly think that they did.
CJ, it's like you're basically like we're saying they bottled it like they were playing at Southampton. They weren't playing at Southampton. They're playing at Anfield against Liverpool.
Nobody.
But it's a Liverpool. It's a Liverpool that is not like the old Liverpool.
The old Liverpool.
They switch it on at Anfield, bro. You know, there's something about what happens in that stadium.
They scored 7 goals a few weeks ago, bro.
Yeah, and as well, it's the truth. It's the truth, bro. And another thing is as well, even the penalty, bro. I mean, they're lucky that Liverpool are wasteful, guys. For me, man, like Nunes 1-on-1 miss, the penalty. You know, like for me, there was just Liverpool had chances. Even Kanate there at the end, you know, Ramsdale, credit to him, you know, with the interception.
There was that one save as
well. Ramsdale actually had a decent game yesterday.
Yeah,
but Arsenal should have finished it in the first half. Arsenal should have been 3-4-0 up in the first half.
Yeah.
So they could have finished it off early.
Another thing is as well, also Arteta's substitutions, guys. I mean,
a suspect,
taking off Jesus, who was very good at holding up the ball. There's that time where he even made that pass, that no-look pass, man. Ooh. I don't know how he controlled the ball there, but you know, like
that's a man who has just been resurrected. You saw that no-look pass.
Yes, because he was good at holding up the ball. Every time it came to him, he held it properly. So I don't get why they took him off. And of course,
I'll tell you this: I don't think that Arsenal, and we always say they were 1 injury away from losing the championship, and we all thought that Gabriel Jesus' injury was going to be big, and they rode that wave. And I like good for them for riding that wave. I really looked at the bench yesterday, and I was like, they don't have a Thiago that can come on, a Nunes that can come on. You know, they don't have like Diego Jota.
That's going to be the difference. That's going to be the difference.
That's they don't have an Alvarez to come on. They don't have an Anti Martial to come on. They can't say Wilson or Isak.
Hey! What did Martial do? Besides getting injured?
Martinelli came off the bench and scored.
But I'm saying they don't have those kind of players.
Like impact players.
For me,
I don't think Martial is an impact player anymore. The only impact he has is always injured.
I leave him. Leave him, bro. We're gonna score against this. We're gonna destroy this guy, bro. I can't wait for the Chelsea United game at Old Trafford. We will see. And Martial is gonna score. And another thing about our team is that our players are coming back from injury, bro. That's the
you've got a new signing. You've got a new signing in Ericsson.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying, bro? It's things. People are coming back at the right time. So sit in.
So when like I'm not gonna lie. So when but right now, I'm hurting. That's why yesterday I decided to put on my clown suit when I went to see about tools. I was wearing my Chelsea jersey because I knew that you can't run away from this. Like I promise you, if I was wearing jeans, they would have said, the man in blue. Like they were just looking. So I'm at peace. I'm just right now. But I think at some point, if I lose, I'm not gonna get mad if I lose against Madrid. Madrid is Madrid. But if I lose the next league game, I'm gonna take a sabbatical of some sort.
You mean when you lose the next league game?
Yes, dude. I think Sihle, honest to God, and like I said, Umbulelo Tenta, heavy Chelsea supporter. I'd like to. I'm gonna, listen to him also this week as well.
Damn.
I think to the two of you guys.
This is crazy, man.
That's wild.
Yo, Sway, these are the comments we're looking for.
This is Umbi. Lovely chap. I think he's a heavier Chelsea supporter than Sihle. I just want to say to the two of you guys, just get knocked out of the Champions League and just like rebuild. I've seen from a lot of teams when you're not playing a Thursday or Wednesday game, things go better. Frank Lampard's got to decide between like 40 players. He's got the squad the size of Sundowns. He just needs to just like pick his best players and just rebuild, not play Champions League. If he doesn't have any Thursday night fixtures next year.
No, we don't play Thursday. We play Tuesday. Or Wednesday.
We're talking about next season, dog.
Talking about next
season. You guys are gonna be.
What I'm saying.
What's the conference league song, guys? Like, I don't know.
We should be asking you.
I'm gonna
Conference League is seventh. Conference League is seventh. So he's not even at that level. So like Brighton will be in Conference League.
I don't even get.
We're going to be recording Chelsea's, all or nothing next year because it's going to be 1 week fixture week, because Todd Bowley's going to speak to Amazon. Watch the space. I can see it. If they have one fixture a week, Chelsea will win the league next year because they've got 40 players and they're just going to be rotating up front. They're going to bring back
without a striker
Abraham.
Because on Saturday I just watched. We don't have impact up front. Without a striker, we're as good as dead.
Bring back Big Rom, and then give Romelu Lukaku to Ancelotti. Someone with pedigree. Umbi likes to say, Bulelo likes to say a manager with pedigree. Who is the manager with pedigree that you would all choose? Actually,
Ancelotti.
He refuses Nagelsmann. I don't know at the moment. I'm still kind of iffy about who I'd want to manage Chelsea. I think Ancelotti is probably the right guy because he will get the sack from Real Madrid. I think he'll lose to Bayern in the final and get the sack.
But I think he might be going to the Brazilian national side team. There's talks of that.
Wow,
but
that's
Real
interesting.
Madrid's their standards are on another level because this man is gonna win Copa del Rey, bro. But
he won the Champions League and got fired, Ancelotti. He did.
He did.
Oh,
they don't play games there.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, in closing, guys, I just wanted us to answer Bulelo's question. What's more important in modern day football? A top-notch director of football or a top-end manager?
I think it's a tricky one for you to say because you can have a top-notch director of football and a shitty manager, and I know it's a tricky one. They complement each other.
Mm-hmm. I see where his thinking is at, and like I said, I know him very well, so I know his thinking. I think for me, director of football, because then there is, when you're picking your top end manager, you kind of know who you're bringing into the club and how he needs to come and play. When Pep was going to Bayern, he was learning German before and they were planning for him when he was going to Man City. They brought in Pep's people before they brought in Pep. So it's when Pep goes, there can still be something. Edu is what makes Arsenal tick at the moment. I think Arteta is doing a good job, but Edu is making things tick. So I think it is the director of football. He knows Marina and Pericek were the ones keeping Chelsea like afloat despite all the changes that Abramovich was doing. So I'm very much someone running the show and saying these are the type of players we want in, this is the type of style of football we're going to play, and whoever comes in is going to complement that style, not bring in Harry Potter and give him players. Because the director of football will already say, like, if we're going to go and get a Harry Potter, these are the type of players we need to have.
Yeah. Just to add on to what you're saying, because I fully agree with everything you're saying. I even have an example. Bayern Munich. I mean, Oliver Kahn, of course, is the director of football currently, right? So Bayern Munich are also another team that they don't keep managers for a long period of time. They also chop and change, and they are always at the latter stages of the Champions League. I won't talk about Bundesliga, of course, because Bundesliga is way too easy,
They're the Sundowns of that
league. Yeah, they are. But we all know that when it's Champions League draw and you get put against Bayern Munich, bro,
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble, bro, because you know that this team will cause you a lot of harm. So for me, I fully agree with you. Director of football and structure will outlive a manager, because eventually managers do leave, and then when they leave, it's nice having that structure there in place, like how Sittle's team used to move under Abramovich. They always had the structure helping them go forward. And yeah, man.
Also, when you have a good director of football, when you do get a manager, you make sober-minded decisions. So I guess when you have a good director of football, you kind of almost have a good manager as well.
Yeah,
complimenting them. We know, Sway. We're not capping.
Sway will correct us.
So yeah, no, look, Marina wasn't, but Marina was running a good ship with people under her, and as I said, like one of our colleagues, Umpe, he actually spoke to me this past week and said the spine that changed at Chelsea was not the spine within the team, but the spine at board level, the spine within the upstairs structures. That's what changed, and as soon as all of that changed, that's when things went awry. Because now Todd Bowley was just playing. I don't even think he was playing like fantasy manager. I think he was playing not football manager, playing fantasy. He was like, okay, cool, I got 2 free transfers this week. He wasn't playing like something solid where you get a budget. He was just, hey, 2 free transfers, so and so is injured.
Yeah, no, indeed. Yeah, Bulelo. Keep in mind the new guy from Monaco, Lawrence Stewart. I still need to look up on him. Recruited Mbappe, Bruno, the left back from City, who is shaming all black. Oh yeah, Bakayoko. Yeah, man. Wasn't
we don't even mention his name. I see Cleveland, dude. I see Cleveland.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, yeah.
We'll ever see.
No, we will never see that again.
Yeah, I think the competitiveness is taking away that where it's 2 managers that are fighting. Right now, you sitting where we're all looking at teams like Newcastle being third. Who would have thought? Like if you woke up from like a coma from 1989, you'd be like, "Yo, Newcastle is here." But the clubs are very competitive. We've passed that stage now.
Before we claim, I just wanted to say, I know Shavar's not here, but I just want to echo the words of Umbulelo Tinta. He hasn't said it today, but he said it many, many times. Liverpool are not a dynasty because they've won 1 league in 30 years. let's not talk about their dynasty because no one remembers who came second. I don't remember the season they came second. They have two Champions Leagues. Yes, I get that. But one was Rafa Benitez and one was with Klopp. Klopp did a good thing. But one league title in 30 years, that's less than Blackburn. So if Liverpool are a dynasty, so are less than Blackburn.
What did Chiva do to you, Makai? He's not even here.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No, I know he can't defend himself. No, I just.
Are you throwing shots over the air? Are you throwing shots over?
Doing it easy.
I just saw the word dynasty, and I thought maybe someone might say a Klopp dynasty or a Pep dynasty. I don't think even in Pep thing, like I want to see Pep go and do it. Napoli's a bad example now, but I would love to see him go do it at Lazio, and build something at Lazio. Then I'd be like, this guy's a very good manager, but he's managed
it's past his
teams. But no, I don't think he's past that stage because at the end of the day,
Pep right now is all about the money. Like,
let's go.
And I don't blame him.
I guess okay. So then for me, sorry Shabbat. I'm not seeing this week at work.
Jeez. Hey,
I was gonna come at me.
Oh no! Homeboy is here.
I was gonna come at me.
Like Shiva's not even here, my guy. You're busy with him.
All I'm saying is one league title in 30 years. I don't believe it's a dynasty, and I agree with that. But we'll see. We'll see.
This man agrees with himself. I like this man.
I know, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Much appreciated. Yeah, guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Because I did see a lot of people are watching it. When you look at the likes, they don't compliment the amount of people.
Do you blame them when niggas are doing this to them?
Exactly.
Add it to the Liverpool gyms.
But anyway,
thanks,
guys. So thank you so much. Hey, this is Sport, and we out. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.